Just wait for a couple of people to jump on. Fix up my dress. So, as you're jumping on, just say hello and where you are in the world. It is early here. What's the time? It's 7:15. I've been awake for a couple of hours, but my first two clients rescheduled, so I'm getting other stuff done. So, I see it as a positive. So say hello. I can see 3 people are on so far. I don't know who they are though. Facebook doesn't tell me all the time. Anyway, I'm going to get started. Louise. Hey, Louise. Okay, so I've had a lot of questions lately about how to find the right coach, the right business coach, and how you know that someone is the right coach for you, and how to be able to afford to invest in a coach to grow your business. So I thought I'd do a live stream on it since a lot of people are asking these questions. And there's a lot of stuff that's come up around money mindset as well. So I'm going to address some of that today. So the story I've been telling people, and I've told this over and over again, basically when I started out in business, I started out as a personal trainer 6 years ago, 6 years this month, and I literally had no money. I was on Centrelink, so getting money from the government. I was getting $500 a week. Hey, Sarah. I was getting $500 a week from the government, and my partner wasn't allowed to work because he was on a tourist visa, and I wasn't working because I just had my daughter. And hey, Stella. And so I literally had no money. And you know when people say they have no money, but they go and get their nails done all the time, or they have a brand new car, or whatever. I literally, I couldn't afford a car. I didn't have a car for 5 years. I couldn't afford public transport. I had to walk and cycle everywhere to get to where I needed to go. I couldn't afford to buy anything for my daughter or for my family or for my house from the shops, even from like a cheap store like Kmart or anything like that. I had to get everything for free from Gumtree. They have a freebie section on there, and Free Cycle. I didn't have any help from family at all. And except for my mum, when I first moved back from England, I lived in her house for a month until I could save up money from bond to for bond for an apartment. Which I was working until I was 39 weeks pregnant, so I could afford to move into my own place. So I, as you can see from that picture, I literally had no money. That is when I started studying to become a personal trainer and started my business. I started studying to be a personal trainer when my daughter was 3 months old. I used to express breast milk and cycle on my bike to get to my classes. And then after that, when I was qualified, literally the week that I was qualified, I started my first business. Most other people who did my course either did nothing with it or went to work in a gym because they were too scared to do something for themselves. I was scared. I had no idea what I was doing, no idea about business. I'd never run a business, never studied business, didn't know about it at all. And but I went out and I did it. Now, in the first month or two, hey Chantal, in the first month or two, I ended up making a couple of $100 a week, really not much at all. And it was mainly from friends and family and, well, not even family actually, from friends and friends of friends that I started my business. As I said, no idea what I was doing. I then found a business coach on Facebook. Hey Ria, a business coach on Facebook who I'd seen some of their posts and I started following them. And I ended up getting on a sales call with him. It was a partner and wife team. She was the marketing expert. He was the sales expert. Ended up getting on a sales call with him. And the first thing that he wanted me to do with him was $1,000. Now, at the time, you could have said $100,000 to me. That's how much $1,000 felt like. I didn't have $1,000. I couldn't conceive what $1,000 even felt like. But he gave me some tips in what I needed to do to start making some money. And I took action and I paid it off little bit by little bit. Yes, I was scared, but I knew that I needed support, I needed knowledge, I needed his expertise to be able to grow my business. So I paid that $1,000 off little bit by little bit as I made more money. And with his help and with my hard work and action taking, I ended up getting from that $200 a week to $1,000 a week in my first couple of months with him. And that was only when I was brand new in business. Yeah. Over that year, I ended up taking the business to 100 grand and 200 grand in under 2 years. And then I sold the business. So you've got to invest in yourself and you've got to change your money mindset to be able to get results. A lot of people I've been talking to lately have been saying they don't have the money to invest. Well, it's not about not having the money right now. It's about going out and making the money so that you can invest in yourself and your business. Whether that's with a coach or putting money into marketing or having an assistant so that you can have more time to work on the business, not in it. These are all things that you need to do to invest in your business. If you're in the mindset that you've got to shrink back and you've got to save costs and you've got to watch every penny, you can't invest in yourself. You've got to be working in the business and not on it. So by working in the business, I mean doing all your coaching sessions, all your training sessions, not doing any marketing or consistent sales or things like that. Hey, Roger. If you're working in the business and not on it, it's never going to grow at the rate that you want it to. So you've got to change your mindset. And if you don't have the money, you've got to go out and take action and make the money and not even put things off until you've made the money. Use that as a commitment to yourself to give a push up the ass to go out and do it quickly. You don't wait to invest. You don't go, oh, I'll do that when I make some more money, or I'll do that when everything's perfect, because everything's not going to be perfect. There's never a perfect time to reach your goals. There's never a perfect time to invest in yourself. The perfect time is now, and that requires action and it requires a different mindset. So with the action taking, it's things like focusing on giving value and making sales, basically having sales conversations with people. And you've got to give the value first to be able to have those conversations. There's so many people, I call it the buy my shit posts, yeah? People are putting up on Facebook, hey, especially this time of year, hey, I have this boot camp, or I have this online program, or I have this coaching package, and it includes this, this, and this, and it costs this much. You don't want to do that. It doesn't work. Yes, if you have a big following, or it can work a little bit, if you've already given some kind of value, or the people who are really keen to sign up because they're so frustrated with where they're at. But for 80% of people, it doesn't work. People need to know you, like you, and trust you first before they buy from you. Okay? You're not going to buy from someone you haven't heard of, and you're not going to buy from someone who is just sprouting the same shit of everyone else, especially at this time of year. And you've got to stand out and be different from what everyone else is doing. So the way that you do that is by actually giving a shit about people, giving value. If you've noticed, if you've been on some of these live streams I've been doing over the last few weeks, I've been giving value. Yes, I've been mentioning at the end, you can have a phone call with me, or you can join my free group, or you can get my ebook, or if you want to have a chat about six-figure systems, send me a personal message. Yes, I've been doing that because it would be stupid not to if someone's ready to take that next step. But I've been talking for 15, 20, 30, 40 minutes and giving massive value that I would give my clients to be able to help people overcome the things that are holding them back at the moment so that they can move forwards. Hey Wayne, how you going? So first of all, because I actually give a shit about people, I want people to be able to move forwards and change their lives, whether they do that with me or without me. I know with me they can get there a lot faster, but also I don't work with everyone. I only work with people who are the right fit. But if I can, in this live stream or in an email or in a Facebook post or in a video or whatever, if I can give someone value that helps them overcome their struggles and the stories that they're telling themselves to hold themselves back, then that is helping someone and that makes me happy. Okay? And if you do that, you can never give too much value. Okay? If you give people value and help them overcome these stories that they're telling themselves to hold themselves back, then they're going to want to find out more. They're going to want to do more with you. Whereas if you just put up a post saying, hey, I've got a boot camp and you get a meal plan and you get 3 sessions a week and we use kettlebells, it's like boring. Kill me now. Yeah? There's no value in that. There's value in turning up and doing the sessions, of course, but you haven't given the value yet in helping them to take that first step. Does this make sense, guys? So the more value you give, the more you actually give a shit about people, the more you have conversations with them about where they're at in overcoming their struggles, in showing them that they can believe in themselves and they can get to that outcome, the more you will build your following, the more you will build your database, and the more people you will get messaging you, or you'll be able to contact them to be able to start with you. Okay? But you've got to get them to that stage first. I have people messaging me pretty much every day now, asking if they can get on the phone with me, or asking about my packages, or asking how they can work with me. But that's because I've done 4 years in coaching business, but 6 years in business in total, 4 years of coaching to build up to that stage where I get inquiries every day. Yeah? So you've got to do the groundwork first to be able to build the value. Now, a lot of people feel like, oh, but that's too much effort. Is it too much effort to be making 100 grand a year? Hey, Lara. If you actually give a shit about people, it's not too much effort. Me doing these live streams fills me up. This gives me energy. It makes me feel good. I love doing it, but it's giving back to others as well. Yeah? It makes me feel good because I love giving back to others, but it's helping change people's lives. Yeah? So, you've got to put in the work. And if you're not willing to do that work, then go and get a day job. Seriously. Because you can't just click your fingers in business and millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars falls into your lap and you're sorted for the rest of your life. You got to do the work. And you can't just be focused on the outcome. Be focused on the journey. Be focused on doing the things every day that not only make you feel good, but you know you're giving back and helping others and helping to change their life. And if you're willing to do that, if you're willing to do the work that most people aren't, then you're going to get the results that most people will never have. You'll get the lifestyle that most people will never have. And I can say that because I've done it. 6 years ago, I was living off Centrelink, like I said at the start, yeah? Had no money, no car, couldn't afford anything, couldn't afford to travel, literally could not afford to even eat meat. I was living off $50 a week for groceries. Now, I'm staying in this beautiful apartment in Portugal. I've been traveling for 2 months. Hey, Desire. I've been traveling for 2 months. Next week, I'm going to London, to Cyprus, doing a photo shoot in Santorini, and going to Barcelona before I come back to Australia. I can do what I want whenever I want. Not only that, not only do I have this amazing lifestyle, but I give back to others. I give to multiple charities every month. We give money to my partner's mum every month so she can pay her bills. I'm able to take my clients to a retreat in Thailand and do amazing things with them. I'm able to spend more time with my family and work only a few hours a day if I want to. Other days I'll work longer, obviously. But I can do that. My business fits around my lifestyle and fits around my family. But you got to put in the work first to be able to get to that stage. Most people aren't willing to do the work. and they are the ones that won't make it in business. Now, you might not have big, massive goals of making millions of dollars or whatever it is, and that's okay. But even to get to the 100K mark, you got to do the work. And why not make it easier on yourself by reaching out and giving people value, working on your mindset, and focusing on sales every day? Desire said, "Hi, Ellie, can't wait to see you next weekend. Super proud of you. Like, I've watched your whole journey, girl. I was talking to you about my Australian friend last night." Thanks, Desire. And see, guys, Desire knows me from before all of this happened, when I was living in London in 2008, 2009. And I literally had no money then as well. I was making £70 a week as a live-in nanny. And so my life's completely changed. And if you guys think about where you were 5 years ago, and I know that's not 5 years ago, but the things I was talking about before, if you think about where you're at 5 years ago, your life would be so much different now. So if you think about the next 5 years of what can change, if you put in the work, really, like, the world is just open to you. You can create anything that you want, but you got to work on yourself and you got to put the work into your business. Now, so finding the best coach for you, it comes on, there's a few different things to look for. First of all, you want to find someone who has done what you want to do in a way, like, they don't have to have done be in the exact same industry, but they need to have created some kind of business success in a way that fits your morals and values. They need to have gotten results with clients as well, or results with themselves. They may just be starting out, and that might be the perfect coach for you. But for me, I always want to go with the best. So I want to go with someone who has great results and are further ahead than where I'm at. Okay? And you want to follow them and see if you kind of gel with their message. Okay? So with most of the coaches that I've had before, they fit this. There was one person who I worked with who wasn't the right fit. And so what I found with him, and I won't name any names, of course, but what I found with him is that he didn't gel with my morals and values. He was building business in a way that didn't fit with me. He was kind of egotistical, and it was really a boys' club, and the girls who were in that group didn't feel like they really fit in and felt quite bullied. Now, my business went downhill that year that I was with him, but I'm not blaming it on him. You got to take 100% responsibility for your own actions and inactions. So for me, in that year, I was in a really bad mindset and I couldn't snap myself out of it. So that, coupled with a coach who didn't gel with me and wasn't on the same wavelength as me and had different visions for my business as what I had, it wasn't a good year. And after that, I ended up moving forwards, and every other coach I've had has been great for me at that time. So you've got to find someone who gels with your morals and your values. Now, it's not about finding you've got to push yourself out of your comfort zone as well. Excuse me. You can't just go with someone. If you go with someone who's the cheapest, you'll get a cheap level of service and support. Okay? You've got to do something that is a little bit scary for you, but that can fit within your means as well. And if it doesn't currently fit within your means, go out and make the money. Like I said before, yeah? Use these things to push yourself to move forwards. Now, at the end of 2014, and some of you guys would have heard this story before, at the end of 2014, I was only making $4,000 a month. And I say only because I'd made a lot more than that previously. But as I said, my income went downhill that year in 2014, that I was in a bad mindset and I was working with that coach. So I was making $4,000 a month, got on the phone and spoke to a mindset coach, and he wanted me to do his 3-day retreat. It was $5,000. So for me, that was more than what I was making in a month, and it felt like a lot of money. So what I did is I went out and I took some of his advice, and I went out and I switched my mindset back on. I got committed to my business again, stopped treating it like a hobby, and I went out and focused on making sales. I knew what I had to sell. I decided what I was going to sell, and I started talking to people. I created a list of people who I could talk to, who I'd given value to, or you can do this with friends or family or people who've been following you on Facebook or people who've inquired with you in the past or past clients or anything like that. Create a list and start contacting them. Ask them how are they going with their goals. Especially this time of year, what are your goals for 2017? Do you have a plan to achieve that? What do you feel is your struggles? Like, what's holding you back from achieving this? What do you feel that you need help with or needs to learn to be able to reach your goals? Have a conversation with them over Facebook chat or get them on the phone. Like, take that conversation from Facebook chat to the phone, definitely. But if it's just on Facebook, you can start asking some of these questions. Hey, Zolt, how you going? So, start taking action, yeah? Don't focus on getting your website pretty or getting a logo or stuffing around with IT or admin or cleaning the house. Focus on the dollar producing activities. So when I had to make that $5,000, I committed to it because I knew it was going to make me grow, even though I didn't have the $5,000 at the time. And so from there, I went out and I took action and I paid it off bit by bit, just like I'd done when I first started my first business. And I made the money and I paid it off. Hey, Gary, how you going? So I paid the $5,000 off and he ended up canceling the retreat. So not only had I hadn't got any knowledge from him, just that phone call was the catalyst for me to really get committed again and move forwards. And I went out and made the money and I got a refund because he wasn't running the retreat. But by myself, without actually doing anything with him or any other coach, I ended up tripling my business in 3 months. And all it took was me switching my mind back on to get committed to my business, treat it like a real business again, and start focusing on those dollar producing activities and giving people value. Okay? You've got to have that commitment to move forwards. If things are just at this level where you're in your comfort zone, you're not going to grow. And you're not going to grow as fast as you want. You've got to have something that scares you by investing in yourself at a higher level or hiring someone or doing something that's kind of pushing you out of that comfort zone to be able to move forwards and get faster results. I did it again recently. I paid a mentor $7,500 for some coaching, and I didn't have the money in my bank account at the time. Yes, I had it in savings, but I didn't want to take it out of savings. And so I kind of put it off for a little while, and I was telling myself, oh, my mindset's in a really good place. I'm in a good place in business. I don't need it. And I put it off. And then I realized I was telling myself bullshit excuses and stories to hold myself back and keep myself at the level I was at. So once I realized that, I worked on my mindset. I overcame those things and I went out and I made some money and I paid it up front. Okay, I didn't have to take it out of savings and I paid it up front from my bank account, my normal bank account. And since doing that, within literally a few weeks, I made $45,000 in new sales. That's not cash in the bank, by the way, just to be transparent. That's total sales, which will come in over the next couple of months. Two of the, like 10 grand of that was up front and the rest is paid off over the next couple of months. And also made about another 5 to 10 grand on top of that. No, actually it was more than that. So let me just work it out. So about 20, this is over a month period. About another 20 grand on top of that, in recurring income and other sales from other programs. So what's that? About 65 grand in a month. Yeah. That's a lot of money. And I did that whilst working only a few hours a day, some days a half day, whilst traveling around Europe and having a lot of stressful things going on as well at the start of December. So, you know, if I hadn't have called myself on my shit and realized that I was holding myself back, I wouldn't have been able to step up to that next level and do it with ease and flow. Now, you can be either starting out in your business and really need to take those first steps, or you can be doing well in your business and still telling yourself these stories. Every step of the way, we can tell ourselves excuses and stories to hold ourselves back. I'm too busy. I don't have time. My face, I care about money. My mindset's good. I don't need to invest in myself. I'm fine the way I am. I don't have the money. Whatever these stories are, they hold ourselves back from moving forwards and taking that step up to the next level. And I know that saying is so overdone, but it's true. Yeah. And every step of the way, when you want to grow and you want to grow at a fast rate, you need to, it's going to scare you. It's going to feel overwhelming, and that's okay. It's supposed to be. If it's in your comfort zone, it's not going to be scary. But fuck living a life in your comfort zone. Yeah? Nothing good happens in your comfort zone. You don't grow as a person. You don't grow in business. You don't have amazing opportunities come your way. Thanks, Louise. So I want you guys to comment in the comment section here, what are the excuses, the stories, the limiting beliefs that you're currently telling yourself to hold yourself back to move forwards? Comment with some of them here. And don't be scared. You're on this live stream for a reason. Make the most of it. Use my help and support right now to even just stating it out loud gives you a reflection and makes you go, oh, that's pretty shit that I'm thinking that. Or I didn't realize I was thinking that. Yeah. It's all about changing up here if you want to move forwards. And like I said, this happens at different stages in your business if you want to move forwards. Awesome, Bev. Yeah, so were you on before? It didn't show your name up, Bev, so sorry I didn't say hello. But did it show, were you on before where I was talking about how to find a good coach, and do you have any questions around that? Yeah, totally. That's the thing as well, guys. You don't want a coach who is telling you you have to do it in this way. And that's a big thing that I do with my clients. I have clients who are personal trainers, nutrition coaches. I have a client who runs an acting academy in England, someone who runs a music school in Australia. I have people who have spiritual businesses, healers, life coaches, business coaches, all sorts of people that I've helped. I was even talking to a stripper the other day who has a stripping business, and gave him some absolute gold that will make him thousands of dollars over the next couple of weeks. The stage that I'm at, because I've worked on my business and myself so much, I can give advice on a lot of different industries. Yes, I don't work with everyone. I had someone who I spoke to once who lays pipe under the ground, and I'm like, sorry, I can't help you. I just don't have any love for that. But anyone who is kind of a coach or in some kind of coach or training industry, I can help. And you know, you got to gel with me on a personality level as well, because I don't want to work with someone who doesn't fit my morals and values, who I don't think I can help, and who doesn't want to have big goals as well. I don't want to help people who just want to make a couple of grand a month. I want to help people with big goals that really want to change the world. And when I say the world, it doesn't mean the whole world. It might mean for you, but it could just be your community or your town or your state. Yeah. So I'll go to yours in a second. Oh, Louise said, Bev, Ellie is freaking awesome and she'll kick your ass if you need it. She kicks mine all the time. Awesome. Thanks, Louise. So Bev, just going over that quickly for you again, but watch the start of this again later. But basically, to find the best coach for you, you need someone who fits your morals and values. You need to find someone who has done what you want to do in a way that makes sense to you. And like you said before, doesn't have a cookie cutter approach and that has gotten people results. Yeah. Definitely. Let's hop on a call, Bev. I'll send you a personal message after this. So, just to share some of my clients' results for you guys as well, or for me, in the last, year and a half, I've gone from making, this is actual cash in the bank, gone from making $4,000 a month to over 40 grand a month. Yeah. That's actual cash in the bank paid to me that month. Total sales. So what I mean by total sales is like if you've sold a $10,000 program, but it's paid off on a payment plan. Yeah. So that's not cash in the bank. That's total sales. So total sales, I've had months that are up close to 100 grand. Yeah. So that's my kind of results. And I had better results before that, or not better results, but I've had results before that in other businesses as well. But now it's been super consistent. And I've also worked on my mindset, my own personal development a lot. So I've done it in a way that fits my lifestyle. I have two young kids. They're 6 and 4. One of them's just woken up. Sleepy face. And so I've done it in a way that fits my lifestyle that I want as well. I travel around the world. I travel about 10 to 13 times a year. Like I said, I've got two young kids. My partner works from home now as well, and I'm the one that pays the bills. I'm the main breadwinner. And I've done it in a way where it fits my lifestyle. Yeah. So yeah, I was about to say that, Bev. So results for clients, I've helped people go from startups to people who are just starting out, so not really making a think, to making $5,000, $10,000, and $20,000 a month. And I've helped people who are already maybe at that 5 to 10K a month mark go up to the 10, 20, 30, and up to 80K a month. My best results ever, and that has happened time and time again. I've helped probably, I don't even know, at least 50 to 100 people go to that 10K plus a month mark. I've also helped people who were already, for example, one person who was already a millionaire, be able to make more money in his business and really learn about his ideal clients and his marketing and teach him about Facebook ads. This was a few years ago now. And really get clear on how to do Facebook ads and how to do his marketing to grow his business and create more time. Now, one of my clients, I helped him, his name's Nick Cheadle. When he first started with me, hey Elias, he was making $7,000 a month. He's a personal trainer, and he was doing 50 sessions a week and just burning himself out. He wanted to go online, but just didn't know how. And wanted to pull those sessions back, those face-to-face sessions. He had a lot of debt. He had no Instagram following, and he had no email list. And within a very short period of time, 6 months I think it was, he paid off all his debt, and he cut back those hours and started building online. Now, within 2 years, he went from 7 grand a month to making 80 grand a month. And he's now got over 500,000 followers on Instagram. And when he was working with me, he got his Facebook page up to 40,000 and his email list up to 40,000 as well. His Facebook page now, he's been working with a Facebook ads expert. His Facebook page is now up to almost 1 million followers. Not only did he get those amazing results, but he can put like a $9 ebook out there. Hey, Jacob. He can put a $9 ebook out there and he made 45 grand in like 2 weeks. He's got a massive following, and the way that he's done that, he got really clear on his target market. He gave massive value. He just showed up. He's so consistent. He's the most consistent person I know. He's got a great body as well, which helps in that industry. It helps with his target market. And he's very, very knowledgeable and has just given massive value for a long time. He cut back those hours, so he only does a few hours face-to-face now, and the rest is online. So it's not just about making a heap more money every month, but doing it in a way that creates the lifestyle that you want to live as well. So he is the one that's had the greatest success, that's worked with me, and he started with me when I kind of was pretty new to coaching. There's a lot of other people, like I said, that have gone to that 10K to 20K a month mark. People who have started their own gyms with my help. People who have started up online and built an online business where they can travel around the world or have more freedom or more time with their family. And not only are they getting these results in their business and with their lifestyle, but they're more connected with their family. They have more time, more freedom. They've paid off debt. There's so many different things they've done. Does that answer your question, Bev? And anyone who's jumped on towards the end of this, just make sure you watch the beginning later on. And does anyone have any questions before I hop off? So I guess as a recap, you want to find a coach who gels with your, has done what you want to do in a way that's your morals and your values, that has results, with clients and has results for themselves. And you want to not invest in yourself from a place of the money that you have in your bank account right now, but commit to yourself at a higher level to then go out and take the action that will help you get the results. You've got to invest in yourself to be able to move forwards at a faster pace. Yeah, I've spent over $200,000 on my own business and personal development and mindset over the last 6 years. Now, I wouldn't be where I am today without it, not only as a person, but I wouldn't be where I am in business as well, obviously. Okay? I invested in myself when I didn't have the money. I invested in myself every step of the way, and I went out and I took massive action so that I could make it work. You've got to take some risks in business. And this doesn't mean go into credit card debt or like not feed your family or anything like that. It means use it as a commitment to yourself to take action and go and get the results. And you don't go and take action and then say, oh, sign up with the coach in 6 months' time. Sign up to give yourself that commitment and push yourself out of your comfort zone to go and take the action. Because if you've got to pay someone $5,000 like I did with the retreat and things like that, it's like, oh shit, I better go out and make that money. Yeah. Whereas if you don't commit and don't say yes to something, then you're not committed to yourself, you're not committed to your business, and you're not committed to growing at a fast pace. You're just staying stuck, kind of plodding along and staying stuck in that comfort zone. So you've got to commit to yourself first and then go out and take the action and make it work. Does anyone have any questions or comments? Does that make sense, guys? No one commented with their limiting beliefs I saw before as well. So any other questions before I go, guys? And I guess just as a final thought or comment, you've got to change your mindset, okay? I've had some clients and people who follow me recently saying that they don't have the money or that they want to invest in themselves further or do more, but they don't have the money. And it's like, it's not focusing on how much money is going out, and it's not focusing on clients who are dropping off, and it's not focusing on what you don't have. It's focusing on what you do want, okay? If you focus on the clients that have dropped off or the things that you've got to spend, like the expenses and the things that are going out, then your mindset's not in the right space. You've got to focus on what's coming in. Okay, so an example I gave one of my clients the other day is she said she's only at $7,000 for this month, and she's had a few clients drop off and she's got a lot of expenses to pay for. And so my kind of reframe on that was, you're not only at $7,000, you're at $7,000 already. It's the start of the month. That's amazing. Well done. And it's like, okay, so if the goal is 10,000, what do you need to do to make $10,000 this month? That's 3,000 in new sales. What do you need to sell to make $3,000? And she told me it's this many PTs and it's this many boot campers. And I think it was like 9 people that she had to sell. So it's like, awesome. So you only need to make 9 sales this month. You've got 4 weeks. So it's just over 2 sales a week to hit your goal. And it's like, it's total reframe of the situation. You don't focus on the clients that you've lost or the money that you're spending or whatever. You focus on where you're currently at and what the goal is and what you need to do to reach that goal. So if you're at $7,000 at the start of the month, that's freaking amazing. Yeah. And then that's only another 3,000 to be able to hit your goal. And then you put a plan in place and you start taking action to achieve that. What most people do in business, they get some results and then they feel like it's too hard, or their mindset gets in their way, or obstacles come up, and that makes them shrink back and they get smaller. When an obstacle comes my way now, because I've worked on myself so much, when I have clients drop off or obstacles come my way or whatever, I see that as an opportunity to grow. I get excited about it. Now, in the past, I didn't. It was scary, and it's still scary at times. But I see that as an opportunity to grow. And what I do is I then make sure I have a good mindset. I focus on the positives. I focus on being grateful and focus on what I do have. And then I focus on what I need to do to move forwards, and I take action from that place. Now, I've done that multiple times before and made $13,000 cash in like a couple of hours when I've reframed what's going on in my head and taken action. Yeah? So it's all in what you're telling yourself. If you tell yourself you have no money, if you tell yourself you have a lot of expenses, if you tell yourself you've had clients dropping off, that's what you're going to focus on, and you're going to keep getting more of that. If you focus on the awesome things that are coming into your life and the things you need to do to move forwards, then you will get more of that. Yeah? It's like, you would see negative people walking around all the time, just being in drama and being in negativity all the time. If you're in that place and surrounded by those people, that's going to be your norm. And the thing is, it's not just from negative people outside of you, it's this negative voice in your head. Yeah? If you're hearing these negative thoughts over and over and over again all day, that's what you're focusing on. You're going to keep getting more of that. So start telling yourself something different to change your belief, to change your focus, to change your perspective. And then what comes from that is you take actions from that place. Instead of shrinking back, it's looking at what you can do to continue growing and continue moving forwards. For me, I will always invest in myself until the day I die. I'll probably keep doing personal development and work on myself and on my business because I always want to step up and grow as a person. I don't want to shrink back. I will never go back to where I was even 2 years ago because I continue to work on myself and I love the journey. You've got to not just be focused on the goal, focus on the journey. And focus on what you need to do every day and throughout the year to be able to get the results that you want in a faster way. Without coaches that I've had, yeah, I would have still got results, but it would have taken me a hell of a lot longer. If you have a coach, the benefits of having a coach is to be surrounded by an awesome community of other people, not just the coach, but other people of their other clients who support you and lift you up. Because, some of you guys would have heard you're the sum of the 5 people you spend most of your time with. So if you're surrounded by other entrepreneurs who are big thinkers, who are doing amazing things, who are pushing forwards, who are positive and taking action, then that's going to be your reality. If you're surrounded by people who are negative, who have never achieved the things that you want to achieve, who work 9 to 5 or are on Centrelink or whatever, then that's going to be your reality. And this applies to any area of your life. So surround yourself with those people. So one benefit is having that community. Another benefit is having extra accountability and support. It's also the strategy and the plan and the simplicity to be able to reach your goals and the knowledge that they have. I got a hell of a lot of knowledge from the last 6 years and even before that, yeah? So I can help people not make mistakes and save a lot of money so that they can move forwards at a faster rate. And it's someone to kick your ass as well if you're having a bad day, to lift you back up and to help you to move forwards. Yeah, you can't do that by yourself. If you're having a bad day, you can get stuck in it for days, weeks, even months and hold yourself back. If you're part of a supportive community, not only with a coach but with their clients as well, then you can snap out of it within seconds or minutes. Yeah, and move forwards and get faster results. Ruth said, is it mainly one-to-one work that you do, Ellie? No, it's not actually, Ruth. I mainly do group work now. I do some one-on-one, but that's at a higher price point for my VIPs. But I have different levels depending on where someone's at. And that's not just budget wise, but it's how much support they want, how fast they want to reach their goals. And it's also kind of like what level you're at in your business, what your goals are. If you're just starting out, you need the basics in place first. But if you've already been doing, you've already got those foundations in place and you really want to move forwards faster, then I have other levels that can help you get there much faster. Does that help, Ruth? And did you have any other questions? Awesome, Bev. I'll send you one as soon as I jump off here. Both kids are awake now. Say hi.
Hi.
Cranky face. So any other questions before I go, guys? And if anyone's watching this afterwards, feel free to send me a personal message if you've got any questions. And like, it's not even just about working with me. If you don't want to work with me, or I don't feel that you're a good fit, then that's totally fine. I don't work with everyone. But if you have any questions around how do I set goals for the year, or how do I move forwards, or my business is this and I'm struggling with this, I'm happy to help you. Yeah, I'm happy to help you, so give you some advice so that you can start moving forwards. Awesome, Ruth. If you guys aren't in my free group, it's the community of kick-ass action takers. Just search it on Facebook. I'll put a link in here after this finishes as well. And like I said, feel free to shoot me a personal message to have a chat or to answer any of your questions so you can reach your goals this year. If there's any questions afterwards, I'll answer them all as well. But have an awesome day or an awesome night wherever you are in the world, and I'll talk to you guys soon.